Hello, and welcome to this quiet corner of the Gatekeepers Grove for the level 16 episode of the Battles of Brother Purple. We're going along pretty nicely now. We just threw Giant Hold, we did the Archons chain, and I've just started on the level 14 whatever this portable hold chain is it the Devil's chain? I think it's called. What do we have to share this time around? Right, the Archon swords don't seem to be avoidable, even with evasion, so not good times there. Haste potions, which are acquirable from the guild vendor in Kundarak, do get rid of the slow effect, which almost all of you probably knew already, but I generally would have worn the freedom of movement boots, I suppose, but as I've begun to wear the golden greaves instead, I prefer those, to be honest, for the DR. We don't have any ready source of freedom of movement because we don't have the flask that you can get from the champion hunter weeks for remnants. For sure I will be going in there and grabbing that. I should check actually that I haven't got it already for purple. I don't think I have. Pretty sure I haven't. I would have seen it in his TR cache, because I tend to sort by level when I'm looking for like level 1 and 2 items when we do a fresh TR, so I'm sure he hasn't got that. One of you mentioned, in fact a couple of you have mentioned, that this build looks quite fun, and indeed it is. It's been surprisingly effective as well at clearing groups and surviving, looking pretty good doing it. Very few deaths. The last death I had, the opponents kind of choreographed it. There was a Plague Reaper. Now the Plague Reaper is the bane of your life as a melee, because you can't heal and you have to go in melee range, so the chances are you're going to get plagued. We do have a couple of defences now in the bird attacks. The blinding and, I'm told, the diving strike will work against Reapers. So as soon as I see a Reaper, I go for one or both of those. And the only issue there is if it's in amongst a crowd of people and you're trying to tab target, you can have a rough time. The solution to that would be the AoE bird attack that comes with the tier 4 of falconry. We haven't quite got there yet. We've got all the way. The next point we get, I think there'll be a choice to make. I think I'll go for the hunting bird attacks remove fortification to start with, because against a boss that's going to be great. I'm guessing that works on bosses because it doesn't say it doesn't, so we're going to start seeing quite a few more crits and not having to chip them down, so that's going to be great. What was I saying? Oh yes, about encouraging people to try. One or two of you mentioned you might try a monk next time around. I think that's been a good, for me as well, mind, been a good sort of result of this little experiment on this channel. Namely, maybe encouraging people to explore the boundaries and maybe try, have a go at a class or two that you traditionally hadn't dipped into, which in my case was plenty and still is. That's why there's a little list on the channel of things to have a go at. Some of them admittedly I've tried before on my main character, but at least, well, let me have a look at the list so I'm not telling you rubbish. There's at least 2 I can think of that I've never tried before. Where are we? Yeah, caster. Well, any kind of pure RT I've never tried before. Barbarian, same. I did that as an inquisitive build just to get the life on my main. Regret it now, to be honest. I mean, all that kind of stuff, like people used to dilute Warlock in the past, like 9 levels of Warlock and 11 of whatever, just to get the past life. You end up with a really crappy build overall, strength-wise, unless I was doing it completely wrong. But it just wasn't much fun. And the inquisitive thing, the same. I mean, it's reasonably effective, but against doing it, the life properly, as we're doing here with the monk, as we did with the Eldritch Knight and that kind of thing, there's just no comparison. Because all the way through those lives, you've sort of got in the back of your mind, oh, I just want to get this out of the way. It's a sort of a gimped character or something like that. And yeah, it's not particularly fun, is it, doing it that way? So yeah, the list here, Artie I've never done properly, Barbarian the same, Rogue the same, Fighter definitely, Ranger I have played the ranged version. I do have a capped archer, but we'll be doing the melee version. I'm trying to keep it to keep things fresh for melee caster, and so on down the list. Paladin, I did a beginner's build, trapper, single weapon fighting paladin as my very first character in the game, not having a clue what I was doing and getting my ass handed to me on hard. So I look forward to having a go at that at the end. So the only ones on this list I have done before, the Storm Singer, which I thoroughly enjoyed on my main character, Alchemist, Sorcerer a long time ago, and a Warforged, very long time ago. I gather it's changed some since then. But the Alchemist in particular I very much enjoyed, with all the nice things, the evasion and the crowd control, obviously, that it has. It's quite quirky crowd control wise, the Alchemist. You need the support of the Fey Illusion Tree for the colour spray, don't you, to stop the Reapers, because you have nothing that would stop them otherwise. And the crowd control that you do have, I wasn't too enamoured with that gold, that flesh to gold thing, because there were too many things that it didn't seem to work on. But the flash freeze, albeit you have to be in the middle of the opponents to do it, it's just insanely good. One of the best feelings in the game, to me at least, to go and jump in the middle of a pile of things, freeze them, and then immediately the energy burst and everything just disappears and you just feel like a god. Yes, and then you realise the red crown behind you has resisted and killed you. But that's for another story. Okay, I've digressed somewhat. So yeah, too long didn't listen. Do have a go at some of the other classes. I mean, my biggest reason for not doing, aside from not knowing too much about them, which you guys have been very kind enough to give me loads of helpful infos. Add to that the infos. I mean, if you do a search in the DDO forums, the class forums, there's plenty of helpful stuff to be found there. My biggest thing, aside from that, was the gear side of things. I was thinking, oh, I won't have any gear for it and this and that. We're only using sort of fairly bog standard stuff and just adapting it to different lives. Yes, my Eldritch Knight, the poor thing, had to go through the whole life with robes. I think that was right. Yeah, we did the whole life with robes because I didn't have any appropriate gear in, what would it have been, medium armor. But there's always seems to be something, and I think for any melee, if you've got part of the family gear from Shan, that would be great. For any caster, that esoteric thing that I've been using seems to be fine, and that's just about it. That will take you up to the cap, I think, or it has done for us quite nicely. Okay, so that's the waffle. Right, so in Giant Hold, I noticed that the Madstone Rage actually prevents you from casting from using the incinerating wave. So that's kind of classed as a spell because it says no spell casting while raged. So for that purpose, at least, that's classed as a spell. I had a look because we've been talking about this assassinate thing in the bird tree and how we can best boost it up. Do you know, it's funny, the saves seem to flit around. It's telling me 50 save there. And in a Reaper quest last time out, I wasn't even on 50 save then. So I don't know what's going on. I really don't know. But 50 is a nice area to hit in Heroic. And it's been doing some really good stuff for us, not least of which against those Reapers, as I mentioned. It just takes the edge off them and allows you to, instead of being beaten up by them, you're able to get some good swings in and get rid of them. The only problem I've got, as I mentioned, with these single target attacks, if you're facing a crowd, to tab target to the right one can sometimes be a bit of a pain. I would get round that, as I mentioned, with the cleave attack that comes in the tier 4 of this tree and also blinds. So yes, assassinate. The only assassinate I can find, I've looked in the ninja spy tree, which one of you recommended. I can't see anything in there, so I've taken the 3 in here for assassinate DC, and that's all I can find. We have some on our gear. I have a little surprise coming at 21 from Borderlands gear, which is going to boost us very nicely in Assassinate, so I look forward to sharing that one with you. I was amazed and very happy when I discovered I had it in Purple's TR cache. Some of that Borderlands gear, Borderlands and Epic Saltmarsh gear, just so strong at 20 for the TR gear. The Saltmarsh stuff you can go and farm to your heart's content, the level 3 stuff. Very, very easy to upgrade, I think, with those salt meadow hay that drop all over the place in that chain. And then you've also got a 5-piece set bonus, which is very strong too, if memory serves. Is it 20 PRR and MRR, among other things. So well worth looking into that Saltmarsh gear if you never have before. The biggest problem I have had in the Giant Hold chain was the casters and the burning blood, funnily enough. Everything else we did very well against because we've got this DR15 on the boots, so the physical damage is taken care of, but the magic resistance is lacking here. The fire and acid is not great. So Burning Blood was sort of ticking us down, especially from the Red Crowns who hit harder anyway. That was quite an issue. The other issue was that things were dying so fast that I wasn't quite able to get the shadows without light healing very often. The thing with that, it works on hit, not on just pressing it. If you just activate it, you won't get any healing side. You've got to hit the target or targets plural, even better, to get the heal or double heal, or if you're really lucky, you could get a triple heal later on. What are we doing at the moment? Strike through 50%. Where can I see melee combat? So yes, it's possible for us. One shot in 10 is going to hit 3 targets, assuming there are 3 to hit in front of us. So that's going to start to get pretty tasty with that healing. And it's only going to get better because we've got greater two-handed fighting and perfect two-handed fighting to come, giving more and more strike-through chance. I think the plan is going forward into the Epic to go, amongst other things, into the Fury Tree, which has a nice bit of strike through in it as well. Stack as much of that strike through as we possibly can. I think that was about it. So, I thought, as a bit of a change, we might try the portable hole, because in this one you get, it's not really worth doing just for the XP because it's derisory against the effort and the threat involved, but it's a good sort of benchmark, I think, of our ability to withstand crowds, read, block up the doorways and just hope for the best. A lot of the stuff in here, maybe even all of it, will be resistant to the fire portion of our incinerating wave, so that's not great, but still worth chucking in, I think. So we're going to have to rely on our brute force, and hopefully we won't get savaged too badly.
Rescue the others, says the wizard. Their magic can help you against the devils. Oh, and keep your eyes open for my manuscript.
Right, so we need to remember, keep chucking the heal thing in, keep doing the incinerate, and as always, quick strike, whirlwind, fist of iron. Use the healing hands in a panic moment. There's a famine reaper in the middle of that. I'm trying to throw the hunting bird attacks at it. And we did blind it there, did you see? Okay, so the door helped us a lot there to not be surrounded. Saving the bird attacks generally for if a reaper pops up. I'm going to try and lure these into the... Oh, crud, that was silly. Going to try and lure them into the door area here, so I have a bit of a position of advantage. I hadn't been chucking the healing thing. You can tell the healing thing that it's that white, of course, wave goes in after the everything's dead. It's that white circle when the heal goes in. Okay, can we just get to these doors? Yeah, okay. Don't get surrounded in there. Oh, that was a mistake. I've got one behind me that's blocking me. That's better. Remnant. Don't get blocked in. I think we got them all, and that means the big guy's gonna start becoming aggressive. Now we have no choice but to close with him, and that's going to be a problem, isn't it? Actually, if Fortis is just going to stand there and let these attack us, that's okay. I just remembered my Reaper boost for more double strike potential. Okay, just stay in the door. there's a Reaper at the back there. What kind of Reaper? Hunting bird on it, blinded. Yes, dead. Beautiful. I don't like the fact this big guy is... The Fortis is stuck in here. So if he comes active again, he's liable to be right on top of us, isn't it? Come on then. Are you not coming? Oh, I actually think Fortis has stuck us in here. Yeah. We can't get out. I tried to boost out with the wings. Now this could be a problem. Can we use the hunting bird to attract those things? No? Ah, yeah, here they come. I would have liked to use the bird against him. Yeah, we did. We got him. Healing key, maybe? We don't need it, do we? Shield. Oh, hello. That was the bird blinding it again. Now I think he's going to come back very shortly. Oh, don't tell me we have something else in there that we need to get. Oh, there is. But hunting bird can hit it. There we go. Knocked him down. Oh, he would have done if we hadn't have paralysed him. Nice job. Okay. Dodge bonus. Let's get him. Reaper bonus. Ooh. Blinded the big guy there. That was good from the hunting bird. I think we're finishing with a bit of... Are we lagging or are we just missing here? I don't know what's going on there. Okay. We'll take it anyway. I suppose I've cheesed that somewhat by standing in the middle of the door and not really getting the full enemies surrounding your potential from the quest. Having said that, we stood up to 40s very nicely there at the end, so I think that's a pretty good indicator of where we're at. I guess it was more of a AoE damage and test of our defences as well than a quest per se. But for any of you who wanted to, oh, legendary, no, I'm not. I think it was what's the silver one? The not the heroic one, the next one above. We'll go for that. Definitely not a legendary. But more than adequate, I'd say. We look really good against the single targets. Now, I can't quite decide what to do. I say we look really good against the single targets, at neutralising the nasty single targets. Obviously, we're not built for heavy damage against one target alone. But I'm thinking of maybe putting off the trance and taking instead for the next point the exposed weakness, because that I've seen that before already, and we're using the bird, you know, extensively against the nastiest targets. So if you can in using that just automatically make them more vulnerable to crits, that's something seriously desirable, including the end bosses. So I think I'm going to go for that first, then maybe the AoE strike to just throw in as a blind when there's a Reaper in the middle of a group of things, and then we'll build up the Deadly Instinct back again. And once that's done, I think it might be about level 18 and about Cauldron of Flame time. So what have we got there? 20 PRR, 10 MRR would take us more or less to the cap for robes. Robes are capped at 50 on MRR, if you didn't know. 15 dodge that ignores dodge cap. That's ridiculously strong. Where are we at? I mean, these saves now with the heroism and in the Reaper. Well, let's just throw that on and you'll see. We're in the mid to high 40s. That reflex is up towards 50 in Reaper now. So, in fact, I think it is 50 in Reaper. So those are looking really strong. The armor class in Reaper, I think, is 71, is it? So that's still getting its share of missed chances. Dodge in Reaper is 33, I think, because we get a 6 bonus from the Reaper tree. So I've never had anything even remotely that good. One in 3 shots missing is just incredibly good. So I think we're in a pretty good place on the defense side of things. This ocean stance is going to kick into a higher gear again, isn't it, when we get Grandmaster? Does that come at 18 possibly? I'm not sure. That's another 3 dodge, an extra on the dodge cap as well, and 1 more on all the saves. Plus we get some... Oh no, we've already got +1 passive key generation, haven't we? From Master of Forms. The key to use Wagon's words is what is it? What is it you say? Overflowing or something like that? Or yeah, I think you're always implying I should make more use of it. I did try in that last one. I threw the wave in and the healing thing. Now these are not key attacks, are they? The Fist of Iron. I kept wondering in the back of my mind, should I be going and using this at some time, this Void Strike? I mean, it's kind of a replica of the Fists of Iron on the numbers side of things. One threat range, 1 damage multiplier, just a bit of extra force damage. And then it says on Vorpal, so only on a 20 the enemy is erased from existence. So that's for the number of points I would have to invest. Okay, I've put 2 in there which I didn't need to, so I would have to invest 1, 2, 4 more to get that. I think my priority at the moment is in this falconry tree. After that we'll see. I'm thinking of the Aasimar tree as well. We've got some healing amp there, we've got some wisdom possible there, and if we go all the way down there we've got 2 more healing hands which could be very helpful. If we get to 10 points in the tree with another 20 healing amp. So there's some nice choices anyway. How many have we spent now? 63 spent, so we have another 17, 18 to go. So that could get us all the nice things we'd like in the falconry. Plus possibly going down here for this void thing and the last 2 cores, and then maybe some in the Aasimar. I think that's going to do it quite nicely for us. I guess maybe we keep these here in... that's another point. When we get to Epic, we either have to have something that gives us magical training. I'm not sure which ones do that. Or we have to go in the Crusader, I think, for no weapon damage. I bet Grandmaster of Flowers doesn't give magical training, does it? No. And for sure Fury won't, so I was wanting to take the third one like we did last time as the unyielding for the nice easy resist energies thing, and also the renewal heal. But if we do that, then we have no source of magical training. Of course, I could just leave the magical training in as a feat and not take precision, but I think that would probably be quite a mistake. So I think we're going to have to... what else does give magical training? Is it going to tell me what grants it? Oh yes, the feat can be gained via the first core ability in these epic destinies. Shadow gives it, and that's perhaps the best one to go with our build. Do we think? What else could we get in there? Oh my God, yes. Shadow Dancer first level gives the magical training plus some melee power, and then for 3 more points in there we've got +6 on assassinate DCs. I think we'll say sold as seen, eh? So we're going with Shadow, Fury, and Grandmaster of Flowers. That's decided. Happy days. Okay, I think that'll do it for that episode. This was Purple and the Hold the Door episode. Hope that was okay for you, and thanks very much as always for looking. Speak to you in the next one. Take care.